Hey, what's up? This is Martha D, owner of MDMC Entertainment. What is going on, everybody? I'm back from Rhode Island Comic Con, and I'm so excited that I got the opportunity once again to be at Rhode Island Comic Con and to, get out there every year. I love going back, and I was trying to think back to how many of those I've been to. And it's kind of crazy. I think I was at 21, 22 last year, and then 23. And then prior to that, I was at 17. So I had been missing a couple of those prior to the pandemic. And then now I've just been going. It's a consecutive show that I go to every year. So I'm really excited to get the opportunity to do some press for Rhode Island Comic Con. And, we kind of showed you a little bit on our stories and kind of really just gave you the inside scoop of what was happening on the con floor. It was nuts this year, and I'm gonna break it all down for you right now in this video. All right, so this year, the guest list was amazing. I think the biggest draw was definitely the Breakfast Club cast being there, and also the Sons of Anarchy cast being there. I think those were like the two biggest draws. Oh yeah, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cast was there as well. Those are like the big cohesive casts that were at this show. And, it's great because, they work really hard on bringing large groups into this show. And it makes the decision harder when you actually have to break down that list of who are you going to see, what's realistic, figuring out budgets and things like that. When I put my entire list of everyone I wanted to meet, it went up to like $4,000. And realistically, I wasn't even going to be able to go through those lines and meet all those people anyway. So you have to really think objectively, more critically about, all right, how many lines can I get through to actually meet all these people? And so, the first night we picked up our passes. So let me break down the rules for having press passes. Typically, when you have a press pass, you are given two rules. One, you cannot interview celebrities. Number two, you cannot record in the panels. Those are the only two rules we were given when we picked up our passes. Eddie joined me the first night. He and I walked around the con floor Friday night. We kind of were a little late. I know that typically the doors open for us at 2 as we kind of get in with the VIPs, and then we can spend that duration of that time there. But because Friday was still technically a work day, we were still busy with work stuff. So by the time we got done with that, we got to the floor probably around 6. So 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we were there until 9 o'clock. And of course, those are the rules we get when we go through and pick up our passes, and also to keep coming back through the press door. The press door is a side door. It's not any of the main entrances or anything. It's through the side. And so those are our 3 rules, I guess. 1, you cannot interview celebrities. 2, you cannot record in the panels. And 3, come through through the press door every day. Those are the rules, okay? So Friday, Eddie and I walked around the con floor. We spent all of our time, you know, kind of seeing. We didn't go down to the bottom area. What was back then known as the Dunk. I guess Dunkin' Donuts no longer is a part of that arena, I believe. Oh gosh, I forgot what that arena is called now. It's a something. Providence. It is now the Amica Mutual Pavilion. That's what it's now known as. And so, which is crazy because I think they do hockey down there, which blows my mind. Well, they used to do hockey. I'm not sure. This is a 4-year-old. They do a lot of things in there. I see dirt racing. I see all kinds of things. So now it's no longer Dunkin' Donuts Arena. It is now the Amica Mutual Pavilion. Anyway, we on that first night, we did not get down to that level. We went in through the side door of that arena, but we didn't go to the bottom because I know there were some celebrities down there, but we didn't make it all the way down to the bottom. We just were on the very top of that, crossed the sky bridge, and we did the exhibit floor, and we did the top celebrity floor, like the 5th floor, I believe. Right off the bat, things look different. The top floor last year, that was all the celebrity area, not the bigger celebrities. Bigger celebrities are always down in the pavilion. A good chunk of the celebrity talent is on the 5th floor. This year, it split in half where there was some celebrities. The Breakfast Club was in there. Edward James, the Turtles, and Carrie Elwes was up there. There's only like half that space was for those celebrities. The other half was for photo ops, which was a disaster. So we knew this going in that, okay, we got the lay of the land, which is one of the reasons why I like going on Fridays. I think if you have a very long list of people to meet, you have to get there immediately on Friday. Try and get that list down as much as you can and see who you can on Friday, because the problem is when you only go Saturday and Sunday, you are limited to this much time to see everybody. And you know, you think, okay, well, the con is open from like 10 to like 6, 7 o'clock. That's enough time. Sometimes it's not, depending on if you have photo ops, if you have some of the bigger celebrities that have massive lines, you know, those lines down in the pavilion, that'll take you at least 2 to 3 hours, depending on who you're going to go see. And so it's important that you take advantage of the Friday night, because yes, there are less people, there are less lines. You can definitely get a good chunk of those done then. And I know some of the celebrities, a good chunk of them are not there Friday, but the ones that are there that you do need, get it done then. So that's one thing that we saw when we went down to the exhibit floor. You know, Eddie and I did our rounds through that area. We saw a ton of the exhibitors. We did see there was a lot more exhibitors there because now the photo ops were no longer there because they were upstairs. Now this presents a problem down the line. I actually found out from exhibitors that a lot of other vendors were really upset that they only have this little section to vend and to sell their stuff. I think last year, because the photo ops took such a big space, that cut off time for the vendors to come in. Now, Rhode Island Comic Con is a big show. It's divided on, I would say, 4 floors. If you add the pavilion floors, there's 2 there. Yeah, 2 there, and then the main exhibit hall. And then up on the celebrity floor, on the 5th floor, there's really not exhibitors up there. So I almost feel like that exhibitor hall, even when you take out the photo ops, it still is a small area, which is one of the reasons why they opened it up on the pavilion side, where that entire arena, the 1st floor and the 2nd floor, is full of vendors now, which is great, gives more people to vend. However, I just feel like I'm not exactly sure what the solution is for this. If they still want to keep it this size, or if they want to expand, maybe there's other areas where you can add more vendors in there. I'm not exactly sure, but it's starting to feel huge at this point. Friday night was really good. You know, we had enough time to see everybody, talk to a couple people, talk to a couple vendors. kind of the whole thing. So that was my first concern, is that, all right, photo ops are not on this floor. That's going to be interesting. And then I thought, okay, well, if it's on the 5th floor, it shouldn't be that bad. There should be more room. There should be. So we ended up going home, got some food, went to sleep. I got up the next day. I got up early, took a shower, and I headed to the con floor. I was there probably about 10:30. My first thing to do was to get to the pavilion. I said, okay, and I always have this thought in my head, because this is the thinking process, is this pavilion is going to be packed. I'm going to go first thing in the morning and get who I need done. So I had a ton of Sons of Anarchy people to go see. I had Katie Seagal, I had Ron Perlman, I had, who else did I have down there? I had quite a few I had to go through those lines for. So I usually get really excited for the show because my friends usually come down from New York. The Facts of Life founder was there, Alex, and we hung out for a little bit in those lines as well. Because we had the same people we had to go see, because we were huge Sons of Anarchy fans, that's the lines we were in. So we went and did that, went and saw Katie Seagal first. I got into the Ron Perlman line. He had to meet Edward Furlong. He also had to meet Marissa Tomei. Edward Furlong was really cool. He's iconic. If you go back and watch the Terminator movies, it's like, holy crap. He also had to meet Linda Thompson, which he ended up having to do the next day. And then he opted to wait for Charlie Hunnam the following day, which probably was the biggest mistake. I know those lines were capped, but you have to kind of stick around before you can squeeze into those lines. But anyway, so we hung out quite a bit. He got to meet Marissa Tomei. He said he needed something. So I was like, let me go in there and join you. And because I kind of want to meet her too. And he was like, cool, come on. And so we waited in those lines together. The thing about these celebrities, and I get it, it's cool to bring in these big names. It's cool for the fans. However, if that celebrity isn't willing to interact, there is absolutely no point in bringing these people out here. I heard she was really nice. Marissa Tomei was really nice in the photo ops, but during the actual autograph time, Alex picked the print. They gave it to her. She's behind the acrylic stand. I mean, some of these people are still in the COVID thing, which is fine, whatever. But she signed it, gave it back, didn't interact with us, didn't say anything. I'm just like, damn. Okay, Aunt May, like, gotcha. And so he was like, that was horrible. That was pointless. I said, right, and I feel like, I get it. It's really cool to bring in these big names, but if they're not willing to fan interact, there's no reason. She wore sunglasses, was not smiling. She looked hungover. I'm not saying she was. I'm just saying what it looked like. I'm not accusing her of anything. None of that. So it was just weird. It was funky. I was like, my God, like, why come here? Why interact with these people? Well, she didn't interact either. It was just a mess. I was like, my God, like, what's the point? What's the point? So that was the only one that was really funky. I wasn't into that one. Ron Perlman interacted a bit. We also met Theo Rossi. Alex needed Theo Rossi. He was, again, really sweet, really cool. I've met him before at Lexington Comic Con, really nice guy. And then we moved on to some people upstairs on the exhibit floor. We met up with I met up with a couple people. The Riddler. I went and saw some of the X-Men people. Oh yeah, X-Men was a big draw too. Met with those guys. Met with oh my goodness, I met with quite a few people. I had a lot of pops I had to get signed. I think I had about I want to say 10. So Friday, I met Wayne Knight, who played Newman. I got his pop signed. Thank God I was able to find a pop there, so I got it signed. And then a lot of the vendors had some really cool pops they were selling. Also I forgot Superman. The Supermans were a really big draw. Dean Cain, a bunch of the Supermans were there. Let's see. I met the guy who plays Gimli. I want to say John Rice something. I don't know. I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan. I met him. John Glover, I believe, who was the Riddler. I met Beast from X-Men, Wolverine from X-Men. Let me see. Who else did I see? Alex got a this really cool Ninja Turtle, like the Ninja Turtle van. I guess it holds the DVDs in it. He got it signed by the entire cast. He also had this really cool, it looks like stone. It's like the Sons of Anarchy DVD set, and it has the book inside of it. So he had the entire cast sign that. Yes, I got the Katie Seagal pop signed. I got Ron Perlman to sign his Clay Morrow pop, and he was also the voice of the Batman animated series Clayface. You guys didn't know that. Henry Lennox. Henry or Harry? Harry Lennox, I believe. So he was on the Blacklist, and he played. I'm blinking. I haven't seen the Blacklist in a while, but he's on that show, and of course, I love James Spader. Fantastic show. So yeah, I've been wanting to meet him for the longest time, and I know last year he was slated to come. He didn't. But he was also at the end of the Snyder Cut as the bounty hunter. Let me get my facts straight. The Martian Manhunter, not a bounty hunter, Manhunter. And so I got the Justice League pop. I know it's not the Snyder Cut pop because obviously they didn't make them, but I got that one. I was like, here, please sign this. So I talked to him about that. I talked to him about Blacklist. Great guy, very sweet, super excited. I also met Mary McDonald. I had this print signed by Edward James Olmos from the 2016 San Diego Comic Con, and he personalized it with both me and the co-CEO, and he wrote this beautiful message on it. And so when I talked to Mary McDonald, I was like, Madam President, like I totally fangirled on her. Like, Madam President, what's up? And we had a really good conversation about the inspiration for Madam President, for just that time on that set. Ron Moore, I think, is probably one of the most sci-fi geniuses out there. He wrote for a lot of Star Trek shows, and then of course right after that went to Galactica. So yeah, he was a great writer. He did fantastic on Battlestar. And just to talk to Mary McDonald, I've been chasing her for a while now. I've been trying to meet her for the longest time. And so I finally got to meet her, and she was everything I wanted it to be. I think she was definitely my favorite. Of course, I have a picture of Marissa Tomei. Not supposed to take pictures of the celebrities out there. But one of the things that I was very upset with the Rhode Island Comic Con staff is, we do get these press passes. We know what we're not supposed to shoot. We know the 3 rules: don't interview celebrities, don't record at the panel, and go through the side door. When I was up on the exhibit floor, and I was kind of close to the celebrities, but I wasn't filming the celebrities. I was just I was filming the people, the cosplays, things like that. Eddie was walking right next to me. I had a volunteer tell me, hey, turn off your camera. I was like, first of all, I'm press. And they're like, yeah, but you're in the celebrity area. I said, no, I'm not interviewing celebrities. I'm not in a panel. And I use the side door. Like, get off my nuts. And he was like, well, you're not supposed to. I'm like, I am fucking press. I had showed him my badge. And, he was like, well, I'll let it slide. I said, no, go learn the rules. Like, if you're going to, and here's the thing with these volunteers, I swear to God, and I swear it's at every show, these volunteers think they have power and they will just treat people like crap. And he did not listen to me. I had a press pass, didn't care. He's like, I'll let it slide. I was like, no, go learn the rules. Like, don't get on me because I'm doing my job, because literally we are here to give coverage to the show. And that's one of my beefs. And I think we're going to have to bring that up, I think, for next year, if we get invited again next year. That's definitely something I'm going to tell them before the show, is like, make sure your volunteers know how these press passes work, that we're here to do this. I'm not putting I'm definitely not getting in their face and recording them, because that's obviously against the rules. Same thing that happened to me at the pavilion. I was, I had gotten my camera and off to the side. I got some of the lines, I panned over the lines, but you can't see the celebrities anyway. I'm just like, all right, here's what we have going on down here. And then I flipped it over to the other side. Same thing. Someone who was volunteering for the show that was line managing was like, turn off the camera. I was like, I'm fucking pressed. Like, I'm pressed. Like, I'm not in their faces. I'm not interviewing them. I am not at the panel, and I took the side door. Like, I am not breaking any of the 3 rules they told me. And they're like, just turn it off. I was like, no, I'm doing press. Like, no, I'm not going to turn off my camera. So that was my biggest pet peeve. And we're definitely going to, say that to them next year for that. Let's see what else happened. I saw an increase of people with, it's kind of nuts. I saw people with, this is getting serious. There are people with bins and wagons coming through this show. Like, it's bonkers to me. And I was like, oh my God, I hope, because we do sell stuff on Authentics. I actually don't think anything I got from this show is going to hit our store. But I feel like people up the ante this year. I'm like, my God, I'm seeing more wagons. I'm seeing Tupperware bins. I saw the most amazing cart. It's almost like a grocery cart, but it's, half the size of that. And this guy decked out his cart with like places to put his paint pens, and, he's got, places to put folders and prints where it doesn't get smushed. So I was like, my God, I had never seen anything like that before. And I actually put it onto the Authentic site. Shout out to that guy, whoever that was. I didn't get his information. I really wanted to talk to him about his cart, but I was in a line, so I really couldn't interview him real quick. But I thought it was dope. Like, great work on that. Like, definitely hitting the people that are taking the Comic Con thing seriously. However, I feel like, this show has gotten so big, and I feel like it's at San Diego Comic Con too, where you don't have really a lot of room to move. And so people with those carts, with those wagons, couldn't get around easy. People in wheelchairs couldn't get through easy. It was not very mobile friendly in that sense, because there are so many people. And I'm actually wondering if they're going to start capping off ticket sales like they did with San Diego, because this thing is going insane. It's nuts. And then let's get to the photo ops. Oh my God. I don't even know how I got my photo op, honestly. So I met the Charlie Hunnam. He's probably the most gorgeous man I've seen in person. Absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't seen it no, I didn't put it on the MDMC page, but I must share the glory of this man and all of his hotness on here. Oh, Charlie. Oh, he's so fine. My God. I sent this to the co-CEO. He didn't say anything. I don't know what happened. I guess he didn't say anything. But anyway, to get that photo op was a nightmare. And I typically don't do photo ops, but the reason I had to get this one with Charlie was at LA Comic Con. He showed up. We did, the co-CEO got all this stuff signed from him, so we didn't have to deal with anything with Charlie, because I knew going into Rhode Island, he would have a massive line. But I got sick on that Saturday, and I could not get to the con, and my photo op was for Saturday. And so I couldn't get the photo op. And so the co-CEO ended up doing the photo op, and I was like, I'm so pissed. And I was like, I'm gonna get my photo op. I had to wait almost a year to get that photo op. And oh God, he was just so sweet, so amazing. My God. I was not right after that. I was telling all my girlfriends about it. I posted it on Facebook, IG. I was just like, oh God, I'm not right now. I'm just like, let me take a minute. I don't get starstruck like that, but my God. Whew. Let me feel some type of way. Anyway, I'm going to put that up in here. I should definitely get that picture put up in here somewhere. I do have a section of pro photos I've taken with people that at some point in this office, it has to go up. Anyway, back to the disaster of the photo ops. Because they moved location, because there was not that much room. Yes, I think in the actual ballroom, they had slots for each of these photo ops to happen, and they had all these cameras to make it happen, and they had their whole printing section to happen. The problem was that the waiting section was a disaster. It's literally right outside the doors to get into the other side of the celebrity area on the 5th floor. It caused so much problems. There was just a whole clusterfuck of people waiting in front of these doors that there was, like, you have authentication. JSA was on this side, at the side of that area. And then the other side is Rhode Island selling tickets to buy autographs. Well, then in between that was a bunch of people, and it was so full of people. It got so bad to the point that that the fire marshal had to come in. So I went in for my Charlie signing. Okay? I was supposed to have my Charlie signing at 5:50. I was told to arrive at 5:20. They were so behind on those photo ops that it was a disaster. I had actually gotten to the point where I got in front of the crowd, right? So I was in front of the doors. So for a good while, I was outside of the doors, inside of like the waiting lines of the photo op, because I was like, I'm not standing in this line with all these people. I'm just going to stand right here. I'll listen to my stuff being called, whatever. Well, they started to pull everyone back. They were yelling us, get back. Like, I had someone in my face yelling, get back. And I was like, what do you expect me to do? There's a whole line of people back here that need to move back. I cannot move back, and I'm not pushing anyone to go back. The last thing I need is getting a fight in here because I'm pushing people to get to the back of the line. This is your job to move these people back. Do not yell at me and in my face to move back. Like, it was ugly. And it got to the point I was like, I can't move. Like, and everyone that was next to me was like, we can't move. Where do you want us to move? We couldn't move. And so that was a problem. And then at some point they're like, all right, if you're group 5, which I was, stand over here. So then I don't even know why I moved. I should have just stayed put. But I ended up moving to the other side. They're like, everyone that's over here, stand up against this wall. And I'm like, how? There's a mob of people. There was no way to get in these lines, these fictitious lines in this mob of people. It was horrible. By the time I got to that side, which I should have never done, I had one gentleman that I was next to. His family, like, he had a hard time standing for so long, but he really wanted a photo op. It got to the point where he had to crouch down, and his family had to make this makeshift circle around him so that people wouldn't run into him. Like, is that what we've come to? Is this what we've come to? That we have to do this to make sure that people don't get hurt? Because there's nothing but a stampede of people going through. And I just, like, praying to the Lord above that I don't get, stepped on, killed in this mob of people. It was nuts. It was crazy. I just had never seen anything like that before. So by that time, Section 5 got called. I get into my line. These photo op people, and this needs to be a serious conversation with Rhode Island and the photo op people. But the second I get in, now I have stuff because I've been I've been going and getting my stuff signed all day. I take off my backpack. I'm just waiting patiently. And then the people that are in there to rip your stuff off of you and put it on the table so you can run in and do the photo op, they literally grab my stuff. I was like, hey. And they're like, hurry up. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? I'm waiting in line. And they just grabbed my stuff and I was like, I cannot wait for this to be over. And then I kind of took a little bit of time when I got to Charlie because I was like, oh my God, hey, I love your work. And I was like, I'm so sorry. This is our last group. I know your eyes are probably killing me. He's like, it's not a problem. Thank you so much for waiting. I appreciate you. You know, I love you. I was like, I love you too. And then everyone's like, move it, move it, move it. I was like, y'all can wait. And I was like, all right. And then we took the picture. And then I walked my sweet ass slowly to go grab my stuff. But just the tact of some of these people, some of these volunteers, these people that are working on this stuff, you can't be just grabbing stuff away from people. You can't just, and I get it. You're on a time clock. I get you're working with celebrity talent. Yes, you have to adhere to their guidelines of whatever they put in their contract, but you can't just do that. And so I felt like I was manhandled that entire time, and not in the best way. Okay, that was like 2.5 hours of waiting for a 10-second experience, and it was horrible. It was horrible. I said, thank God I'm not doing this again. Sadly, the next day, something happened with those photo ops because people were missing them. You know, it's Sunday. Alex got to his photo op and missed it. They flat, like there's a miscommunication between the front and then the actual photo booth because they told him, yeah, the photo op's still happening. He went in, got into the line, got to the booth, and they're like, it's been over for 10 minutes. I don't know why they told you that. So there's a miscommunication between that and that. No clue why. Don't know what happened. Poor guy. He missed the Terminator. I think it was the Terminator one. So it was weird. And then my final gripe on this was the prices. All right, so, and I know the con doesn't control the prices, but when they book their people, they should really get a detailed list of all of those people's prices, because it's funny how much I've budgeted. I was sticking to a budget so hard that I was like, I cannot go past this. I cannot do this. I can't do this. Because if I do, it's going to end up costing me. So I ended up, I think my budget was like $850. That was out of the window. I spent over $1,000. People like Wayne Knight. Okay, first night. I'm like, let me see. I have my list, so I can. Where's my Rhode Island? All right, here we go. Let me see if I still have this list on my phone. Because what I did was I imported it in. Okay, here we go. I have the original list I have here versus what I have when I updated them here. All right. Let's start with Wayne Knight. Okay, so he was true to his prices on the website. So I ended up, I think his autograph was $50 on a flat. On a Funko, it was $70. I think it was said on the site because I did write down $70 Funko. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to Cal Dodd, who was X-Men. No pre-sales were listed on the website. No pre-sales, but it said $50 for autograph. What happened there was it was $80 on a Funko Pop, and I was supposed to get. There was an exclusive print at the show. I was under the impression that this print had been printed for the entire cast and it was going to be on their table. I had to go through the artist. It was at 11 by 17. It was huge. I'm like, I'm not flying that back. There's no way. So I didn't end up doing that, but I was going to get it. And so, yeah. So the X-Men people, if regular print, $50. Funkos, $80. Anything else that wasn't on a print, $80. Shauna Waldron, I got a print from her. She was nice. Super nice girl. Let's see. McDonald was $60. That stayed true. Harry Lennox. He also has pops. If you get the Justice League ones, he does have a pop. He didn't upcharge $50. Ron Perlman, thank God. Ron Perlman has not hiked up his price yet on pops because I got 2 signed for $60. So $120 total. John Glover. I believe he only charged me $60. I have 80 on here, no pre-sales. He should charge me $60 is what I wrote. Let's see. Katie Seagal. I tell you, I don't know if this was Katie's people or the Cons people, but I get up, I flattened all my pops. Obviously, if I'm flying and I have 10, 15 pops that I'm going to take to a show, I am not bringing them whole. I did that one time. I actually, thank you, Alex. He let me send whole pops, mailed them to his house. I had like 3 boxes waiting when I got there. I was like, he was like, you got anything else? I was like, yeah, I do. I think I brought some with me. And he's like, oh my God. So I had all these boxes. I transported them to the show in Connecticut, did the show. It was a pain in the ass because then I had to mail it all back home, which ended up happening anyway because they got me some pops at New York Comic Con, so I had to do that anyway. But these big ass boxes, I'm not doing this. So I flattened it, right? And so I get to the Katie Seagal line. It was listed at 100. In fact, if it's a pop, it's 120. They say any flat items is 100. And I was like, well, I was joking around with the guy, okay? Just joking. I knew this wasn't going to happen. And I said, well, technically, I flattened it. He's like, A for effort, but no, 120. I was like, all right. Look over to Alex. He said, what a dick. And I was like, right? I was like, I'm not going to say anything because I still want to meet Katie Seagal. I need to pop them. So I think Hal Dodd was 82. Yeah. Any of the X-Men people. So here's the thing. And I understand that it's annoying. It is so annoying. But I understand because people know we sell pops, and myself included, because I have a whole inventory over here. I understand that. I understand that some of these people have caught on to, if they have a pop, they're going to upsell the autograph on it. This has been happening in wrestling forever. You know, I understand, like with if they just want prints, like wrestling, they nickel and dime every goddamn thing, which is annoying. Typically, if I have someone, I'm like, hey, just send it. And they were telling me, how much is it on the belt? It's like the same price as an autograph. Like, I don't care. An autograph's an autograph, no matter where you put it. It's still worth something. But some people have caught on to the fact that because it's on a pop, it's going to cost you more. So with that being said, Rhode Island, you guys, when you book your talent, you need to make sure that they give you their entire price sheet. And if they're going to do that, it needs to be listed. No matter what, every single person needs to submit a price sheet, whether they're going to do pre-sales or not. Because what's happening now is like there's a total upsell on everything. Like I think even the DVD stuff was up. You know, anything that was not a flat print, upsold $20, upsold $20. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I get it. I know there's a market out there. I know. Let me see if I have this shit. She's no longer with us. Lisa Lauren? All right, so I met Lisa Lauren at the Hollywood show. She's no longer with us. This is one of the reasons why this isn't even on sale or on our store or anything. But I remember her specifically. I think her autograph was like 50. Okay. We pull out $50, gave her the pop. She's like, nope. She's like, it's another 20. I was like, why? And this was before I started to see everyone start doing this. They're like, it's not a Funko. And I was like, and she's like, nope, those are worth more. Because everyone's turning around and selling these, my autograph's worth more on this. I was like, it's like $70? Damn. So I was like, Give her $70. I was like, damn. Which now I'm thankful that, you know, she's passed. I'll never sell that, but but it's just that everyone now, the celebrity talent now knows that their autograph is more valuable on a Funko, and so therefore they're going to upsell this. And so now when people are going to the show and they're not prepared to spend another $20 for every person, like my entire thing, I think my budget, let me see, my budget total was $865 for everyone I went to go meet. I met 12 people. That went up to $1,000. Why? How? How? And that's why. So I think it's got to be necessary. And then on top of that, Wayne Knight. So he is one of those guys that nickels and dimes everything you want on your pop, whether it's a quote, another $20. I don't remember if he put Newman on it, actually, now that I think about it. I think he only signed it. Let me go back and look. Come on. Let's see here. I don't believe. Because typically, now if you get into the bigger names, no, he didn't. If you get into like the bigger names, now first of all, Wayne Knight, he's not that big of a deal. I don't even know why he's pricing himself that high. It was $80, right? $70 for the Funko to be signed. So he just signed it, Wayne Knight, right? There's his auto, okay? He didn't put Newman, that's another $20. If you want a quote, another $20. So 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. I'm not paying 110 for the guy who played Newman on Seinfeld to do all that. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. I know people, you know your worth, all that. I get it. But really? So I'm saying this, Rhode Island, when you book your talent, make sure that they have their updated price list. So you can put it on your website. Now you can say no pre-sales, because most of these people don't want to do pre-sales because they're doing that. And so when I saw no pre-sales, I'm like, great. But in some cases, they were upsold. So like, which is nuts, which is absolutely nuts for me. I think when I met John Rhys Davies, so he played Gimli on Lord of the Rings. He was absolutely a delight. I remember seeing this man on several movies and everything like that. And he signed it. He gave me his autograph. He gave me his character name. And then he gave me, don't help that elf. He gave me a quote. He was $80. Where was he? John Rhys Davies. Oh, you know what? I didn't have him on this list. That's why I was like, my prices went down. What the hell? He was one of the last minute additions on here. I think that's why. Yeah, that's why. He was $80. For $80, yeah, I'll take that all day long. I love that. He really went above and beyond here. Mr. Riddler himself, John Glover, I believe. Let me see here. Yeah, John Glover. $80. Okay, but he gave me a full-on riddle. He said, riddle me this. If you're so smart, why aren't you rich? And then he signed it on the side, John Glover, the Riddler. So for $80, hell yeah, I'll pay for that all damn day long. But Wayne Knight, you only get his name? Get the fuck out of here. No, absolutely not. This is nuts. And so let me see, who else? All right, so what's his name? George Booza, okay, $80. So he did do his signature and he put the beast, okay? At least he did that. Cal Dodd, Wolverine. Thank God he did the really cool fangs for Wolverine. His name, Cal Dodd. And on the side, he put a quote, I go where I want to go. And then he put the claws on there on the other side. So see, if you're gonna pay 80 bucks, do what's worth 80 bucks. Don't just give me your name. Get the fuck out of here. Katie Seagal. Now, I don't know why she's charging more than Ron Perlman, because Ron Perlman is pretty iconic too. She's more expensive than Ron. But nonetheless, you know, after the volunteer gave me crap about my flat item, she signed it, Katie Seagal, and she said Gemma. She didn't, you know, I didn't have to pay more for her character name. Thank God. Okay, let's see here. Ron Perlman, I gave him 2 pops. He just said the flat rate is 60 bucks, and he gave me an inscription. Clay Morrow, Clayface, like easy. That's the way it should be. Harry Lennox, same thing. I think this was 60 bucks. He still gave me his character name. The Martian Hunter. I love that pop. Let's see what else. Let me show you the pandemonium inside the photo op. This is what it looked like. Packed with people. So I really feel like I understand where these celebrities are coming from. I understand, yes, there is another, there's another seller market out there. I understand because I'm part of that seller market. So and you have to understand, not everything I get, I'm going to sell, okay? I do have a private collection where I have my own stuff, my own thing. Oh, let me show you this cart real quick. This guy came prepared. I don't know who you are, but if you're watching this, I love your cart. And then check this out. A place for pens. And this little part down here for like other flat items and things like that. Amazing. You're awesome, guy. I don't know who you are, but what up? Anyway. So I understand there's a seller market, and I do understand you'd be like, well, you sell these things. Okay, I do. But there is another part of my collection. I have a huge other section of my collection, which I will have to do a video and kind of show off my collection one of these days, because I've had more items. There is an old video. If you go back, it's about like 2 years ago. I think it was during the pandemic. I just showed all of my pops and like the stories behind it and all that stuff. So I will have to do a new video on that. But anyway, back to the point. I just feel like if you're going to have a bunch of people come to a show, Rhode Island, get your talent to provide a full list and itemize, like make sure they have everything itemized to, if you want inscriptions, if you want it on a pop, if you want, you know, character name, you need to lay all that out. Because when you get to the show, people are already budgeting in a certain way. And when they get there, they're like, well, I didn't know it was going to be this much. People leave disappointed and sad. Carrie Ellis, same with him. I think he was originally, let's see, what did I have? 50 bucks? 50 bucks. I was like, all right, I have 2 pops, 100 bucks, no problem. He was 80. 80 for the Funko, 80 for the book As You Wish. Any other exclusive premium items, he rocked up the price on some of those too. So it's like, come on, get with the program. Like, and I understand it, you know, I don't know if you guys don't do it because it's discouraging or what, but I think it'd be brilliant. So that way, when I'm budgeting and I know who I want to see and what I'm going to get signed, it makes that decision easier. And I know a lot of the fans out there would appreciate that, because everyone works differently. We understand, but as a fan, I want to know going in, what am I going to spend? Because then that lays down the foundation of how I'm going to spend that weekend, who I'm going to meet. I mean, am I going to have food, you know, money for food that night, or did I spend it on an inscription? You know, that's the thing. I think that's something that really needs to be done. Also, the rotunda was open for some of the turtle creators, which is cool, but there needs to be something done with this, because either you need to find another location to have this massive show, or you need to rent out other areas in that convention center. That's a 5-story convention center. We're only utilizing the arena and 2 floors in the actual convention center. So there needs to be something done. You guys need to look into the bottom floor. I don't know what's on the entrance floor. I'm not sure what's in there, but maybe you guys need to start looking into that, because this needs to be expanded a little bit more. That, or cut back on the guests you're bringing in. because at this point, it's gotten to the point where it's like, you can't move, you can't do much. You're going to dedicate your time to lines. You are going to cut down on who you're going to meet because, again, I think one of the things the co-CEO told me was you can't meet everybody. And that's the sad, unfortunate truth. You can't. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I think there's room for improvement always, but I also think that you need to shape up these volunteers. You need to talk to the photo op people. You have volunteers and photo op people that are screaming at people for no reason. Like, you're there to have a good time. You're not there to get into a fist fight. Like, because I had a press pass, I really did not go in on people as much as I should have. And so I want to continue getting press passes. I continue want to show my love and support for the show, but there are a few things you need to tweak. The photo ops need to find a whole new location. I feel like, I think what happened here was, I think honestly what should happen, and we'll have to figure this out, like I'm part of it, like I'm part of the logistics team, but I think all the celebrities that are usually on the convention floor or the exhibit floor need to go up to the 5th floor. You need to make that entire space just exhibitors so that vendors have more room to show their stuff. Photo ops need to find a whole new home. So you need to have these celebrities all need to be in one place. So that 5th floor would be perfect, right? Bottom floor, nothing but exhibits. So people can walk around freely, look at everything, all that stuff. Then photo ops need to find a whole new place. And then the pavilion can stay what it does. And I like the fact that there are vendors down there. I've seen a lot of really cool stuff in that area. Love that. Fantastic. The arena is doing what it needs to do, which is what I like. So I felt like this year was a little bit more chaotic. Also, I do appreciate them bringing in higher caliber people. That one girl from The Matrix, that's the co-CEO's lady for life right there, Carrie-Ann Moss. I wish I had met her, but I know she's going to several other shows along with Linda Hamilton. I'll catch those people later. The people I didn't see, well, I did see Marissa Tomei, but I'm glad I didn't get her autograph. Evangeline Lilly, I wish I had been able to jump that line. That was a huge line. Irene Bedard, I've been meaning to catch her because I have some Disney pops I need to get done. Deanna Guerrero, I didn't get a chance to meet her. Brandon Routh, I have 2 pops I need signed by him. Couldn't do it. Gina Gershon, I've been meaning to run into her. Still haven't, so I didn't get to see her. Josh Radner, I wanted to find his pop. I didn't meet him because I did want the pop. He looked a little upset, honestly, when I was in the Wayne Knight line. I was with Alex to get his pop signed. We try to find time to hang out with people. Sometimes the line is the best place to do it. So moral support for standing in line so damn long. But I saw Josh and he looked really upset. Judd Nelson, I really wanted to meet Judd Nelson. Did not. It was just not in the budget. I think we were just too preoccupied with the Suns and the X-Men people. In fact, we didn't meet all of the X-Men people. We had to cut that too. LeVar Burton has a new pop out, and I did not find it, so I'll run into LeVar again, probably in LA. I needed one more Ron Perlman pop, the Optimus Primal Beast. I did not find it, so he could have had more to sign, and I didn't. Molly Ringwald, and that's the one thing that people were upset with. She was not signing. There was a note. I saw it on one of the groups. Molly Ringwald wasn't doing something. Hold on, what was it? I tell you, these groups are great because right before I got to the show, I was starting to get alerts about, hey, these people don't do this, hey, these people don't do that. Oh, signature only. No quotes, no character names. Autograph. So see, that's one thing people should know going to the show. Someone took a picture of this and put it in a group and letting everyone know ahead of time, hey, only the autograph, selfie, combo, Funko combo. She's not, just signature only, which sucks. Like, especially if you're a Molly Ringwald fan, although I've heard really bad things about her. I have not met her though, so I can't really speak on it. But That's the things people need to know. I don't like going into a Comic Con and being surprised. Like, oh, hey, you brought your wallet, let's take it all. No. Give us a space and a time to budget correctly, get our stuff together, get our pops together, because the last thing you want to do, and one thing that I hate is I will bring stuff and then I'm like pissed at the end of the night because I was like, well, let me unpack this because I didn't get it signed. And I know a lot of other people out there are probably upset about that. So I don't know exactly what needs to be done, but when you book your talent, get the list, get the whole list and nothing but the lists. And if they don't want to do pre-sales, note it on your website. Here's the list, no pre-sales. So at least that way we come prepared, okay? I just feel like this show was a little bit more wackier than usual. It's a little disorganized here. The photo ops ruined. It was a bad taste in everyone's mouth. That needs to go into a whole other area. And hopefully you guys can fix these tweaks because, you know, obviously we're going to come back regardless. But nonetheless, I hope everyone that went had a great time. You guys enjoyed yourself. And I'm excited to see what kind of list they bring in next year. I mean, they have the knack of bringing in people, obscure people we haven't seen in a long time. Although I do find it funny, though, I will go to the Hollywood show where someone is brand new to the scene, hasn't done an entire show, and then I see them at Rhode Island, which is funny because I've seen that happen quite a bit. So anyway, that is it for my review. I've rambled on long enough. Me and Eddie had a great time representing MDMC and the development. And of course, Facts of Life had to come in as well, which we had a great time hanging out with him as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you want us to come to your cons, which we would love to because we do go to a lot of cons, let us know. We usually hit up people asking to come in and do press, but if you saw this video and you like our honest review, contact us. We would love to attend your show. Usually the only thing we request is a press pass, just so that we can spend a lot of time reviewing everything and seeing everything. We've been in the Comic Con world since 2016. We work at the Comic Cons. We've been behind the scenes. We've been smack dab in the middle. We know how these things are supposed to run from left to right. So if you want us to come to your show, enjoy it and participate and all that stuff, contact us. You can hit me up at marthad@mdmcentertainment.com. I would love to speak with you. And yeah, I'd love to be at your shows. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment on this video. And give us some love because we need it. And I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.